Let me hit. Oh, damn. Oh, we're good.
I think you American last ever realize now that I have.
What up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I have us finally listening to Vince serenade us. Talents. But also, I have a few other folks with us today. Today, we're going to finally do that Foundation live stream that I've been promising to everybody for God knows how long. But there's a lot to talk about with Foundation. I think all of y'all just caught up with everything that just happened. I'm gonna start introducing our little round table here. Of course, we got our very own. How do I do this? Vince, we got Lady Mandalore, we got Bad Time. Appreciate y'all all coming through.
What it is, how it do.
What it do in the loop.
So yeah, yo. I don't know about y'all, but this morning I did something I don't normally do, and I watched the next episode of Foundation beforehand. Vince, so I don't know if you had a chance. I watched 6.
I didn't. Nah, I left before we got. No. Okay. I'm on 5. Yeah, I'm on 5.
Okay,
you're on 5.
I think Ty's on 4.
But he's on 4.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Everything that's happened in this season has, I think we can all agree, exceeded expectations for what we thought was going to happen this season. I remember leaving season 2 thinking television doesn't get much better than this. This is like up there with like Game of Thrones peak seasons of television with season 2. And now we go into season 3. We even grab some Game of Thrones actors.
Yeah.
Sprinkle them in the mix. And we've got our brand new season 3, which is, to me, all gas, no brakes. Like, I haven't seen them ease up in escalating every single episode that we've watched. I know I have this image up here from episode 1 because I just remember how the show set the tone from the very beginning. We're just like, yo, there's this random dude walking out of the woods. One man just walking out of the woods, dolo. And they had an army waiting for him. So to me, his reputation preceded him because they knew they had to be ready. And just everything that we've seen with the Mule thus far from this moment forward, from him taking over this, I don't know, taking down this battalion, him disrespecting the hell out of this dude right here by moving up in his house, putting his feet up on his furniture, playing with his kids. Like, the level of disrespect with this dude. Like, I'm curious what were the highlights, whether with the Mule, whether with Gaal, whether with the new Cleons, or with Demerzel, because I definitely want to talk about Demerzel. What have been the highlights for you all, beginning with the first 5 episodes, the first half of the season that we've seen? Go ahead, Vince. You can start.
Yo, my one of my highlights is Day being in love with his chocolate milk of magnesia. This little I mean, because he's completely changed his aura, right? Like he's I want to go back to Jamaica with you and just meet your parents, you know, and just like, you know what I'm saying? He's just sitting there like smoking on avocado weed or whatever the fuck it is, and like it's just so refreshing because literally all the days, even the one that was betrothed before, have been assholes. Like they've all been assholes. I mean, some have showed some hints of grace, but this is the first one that has been fully immersed in outside empirical culture. And that to me is like an extreme turn from all of the seasons in the past. And I mean, even like she's like, you sure you want to do the? He's like, it's not her, it's an it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love how he's just completely detached. Like this is Day that's like, no, I see what this bitch is for who she is, and I don't like it, and I don't want nothing to do with it. Ship me back to Ghana with my queen, and I want to go and live in peace for the rest of my life. That is, to me, like one of the biggest takeaways. I freaking love it. I love it, and it feels authentic. Like sometimes you get this, and I know how he turned his back on old boy. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of evil, and And I know that I think we're going to get into the fact that it more than likely isn't authentic. But the fact that he was so convincing for the first 4 episodes, I think, for me, is one of the biggest, occurrences this season that I'm so fascinated by.
Oh shit. I don't know where to start. Hey yo, Mr. Finger Up the Bum, the Mule. I love him. I like his character. I like where he's going, mostly because of the mystery behind it. He's god damn. I'm intrigued by that whole storyline because I don't know what the fuck is going on, which does not happen for me very often. Usually, if I don't know what's going on, I'm checking out. But with that whole storyline, it's well, who? Wait, but when did you start doing? How come you like this? But wait a minute, why do you need the music? You don't need the music, motherfucker. You ain't need that motherfucker out in the field. You want some bullshit? How bullshit? Oh, you playing 3D chess, not real chess. You playing 3D chess with these niggas. Bet, got it. All right, nah, Mule got it. I really, 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 in some way, shape, or form, I need him and Gaal to hook up. Not like sexually, but like on some we gonna take over the whole galaxy type shit. I want that to happen. It can't happen, but I really, really want that to happen.
Hot take.
I do. I like chaos. I like it.
You know what I want to see? Leia hook up with Darth Vader. I know their parents, but that would make it like.
Okay, that's gross. No, thank you.
Out here in Alabama, we don't frown on those types of things. You understand?
Ew.
So you touched on something with him needing this dude's music,
right?
Yeah.
So like,
Lady in red.
I thought it was out there hitting them with the blues like bop bop bop.
So that's crazy that this dude's music makes it seem like it enhances his power.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I've been sitting here and I've been curious if anybody else has this theory. Anybody else think that he might be a mentalic?
Who? The guy that plays the
Magnifico.
music?
I don't think so. Nah, why would he need an instrument to enhance his anything? Because the Mentalics, like Gaal, I'm assuming, and the Mule and her boyfriend, right, are all self-governing. Like they don't need a device or any type of external. But they what?
But they were trained, right? Like they went to the Second Foundation and they trained. Like this dude is just on his own. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, the Mule is already able of taking down a battalion by himself. And season 2 established that when Mentalics get around each other, they enhance the abilities of the Mentalics in their vicinity. So I wonder if these are 2 untrained Mentalics that happen to find each other and found ways to boost each other's power.
So that's a hot take. That's a good take. But I also think that this whole universe is vast and that they have races of different people that have different traits or characteristics about them. I think in season 2 we encountered that alien race that old boy tried to blow up the ship.
The spacers.
Yeah, the space. I think they were called the spacers. I don't know. They were the ones that were like tall and yeah. So they. I believe that there's different races of people. If that's the case, I think that he probably comes from a race that has that ability with music, in terms of manipulating it, the way that he does. I think also for me, one of the things that's kind of stood out for this particular season is the growth and the quest for humanity that Demerzel is on. Like, you can see that at each episode that she's becoming more emotional. She literally has a therapist at this point that she goes to and drops all the gems, and unlike most therapy sessions, you can't anger this one because she might just spaz and kill you, which was evident in episode 4 when old girl was trying to be honest with her, and in that moment she was like, showing her real face. Yeah. Don't do that ever again.
Okay, Karen. I know. I'm sorry. I'll find the manager. You know what?
Yeah.
Only for a minute.
This session's on me. So I feel that to me is one of the most interesting dynamics of the show, is watching Demerzel, who is a program in essence, who has been programmed, who is a robot, who we've seen from season 1 on to now. I don't know if you guys remember that time she was on the planet. And on that planet, I don't remember the name, when she was on the planet with the black woman.
Yes.
And then she had to kill the black woman, and she did it. Yeah, she didn't want to do it though. She didn't want to kill her.
Can I interject real quick? Because you said that she's starting to become emotional. This what you're talking about was what I was going to use to argue against that point. Because back then, which we're speaking of hundreds of years before current day, she was already experiencing shit like that, right? With that lady, because she was like, "Yo, we're not supposed to kill. Like, what? Leave this lady alone." You know what I'm saying? And Dave was like, "Nah, man, fuck that." You know what I'm saying? We got to, But she was hesitant. So doesn't that indicate that she may not be gradually so and so becoming more humanitarian or whatever, right?
Well, no, because that's exactly what I was speaking to. I'm speaking to the fact that this has been a journey of growth. I'm not speaking like she just started becoming emotional. I'm saying throughout the seasons that we've seen, she has become more. It's like now she's chasing humanity, her humanity. When you decide to have a therapist, that means you realize. Look. If we're being honest as humans, when you decide to get a therapist, that means you're acknowledging that there's an issue. And so when she sits there and decides that I need someone to tell my shit to, like, you know what I'm saying, in order for me to have a better understanding, and who's not afraid to do this. Right now, she can't talk to brother Day because they've already had their little thing and that it didn't work out and all of that kind of stuff. So he doesn't trust her at all. She can't talk to Dusk because he's contemplating death and trying to figure out how the hell not to die. And she can't really talk to Dawn because he's still in his infancy. So he has to be the one that is running the country because these other two got their own mental issues and mental cases right now. So to continue to watch her each episode, because she was visibly, you can tell she was visibly hurt by the way that that Day treated her in that moment when she thought she was doing the right thing by not killing the girl but sending her home. Like in that moment when she was, you could visibly see his words like ripped her a new one in that moment.
I would argue against that. I would argue that obviously Demerzel has been programmed to project empathy, right? So she may have appeared that way, but we can't forget that she is essentially walking artificial intelligence. It's not the first time she's been confronted by a Day, right? Amidst that whole
Day.
Amidst that whole what does it want today? But remember, like when he was kind of fighting and fending off the possibility of being betrothed to that one young lady, because he didn't want to necessarily end the concept of empire or whatnot, but this would they argued against it. Remember there was like almost a damn near mutiny. Like she's been confronted with belligerent days before, so I don't think that she gets hurt. I think she just gets shocked, or she comes to a point of realization, like, okay, that's where we are with this day. Okay, because she's had to kill days before. Like, remember, like there have been days that have died, and she just let's go to the clone chamber.
Well, she doesn't like to kill anybody.
I mean, but can you really say, first of all, it don't like shit because it is not real. It's not a woman. She's got
let me rephrase that. The performance of the actress is showing remorse in all of these actions, right? There's always that weird look, and Ty hit something that I didn't even really process and think about. She sought therapy. I'm sitting here like, she sought someone to confide in, to bounce her ideas off of. No, she sought therapy because of these fucking Cleons. Like, they're driving her nuts. Like, she's looking at psychohistory. These Cleons ain't behaving the way that the Cleons did before. I think that she has romantic feelings for Cleon.
Well, she has had a sexual relationship with some of them. Right.
Yeah. And if you even go back to Cleon the First, she had watched this one from a child into an adult, and she kind of like fell in love with him.
And vice versa. I think y'all are buying too much into this emotion, her being actually emotional. I think this is very calculating and manipulative, which I'm not. Go ahead.
Let me add one thing, because I hear you, because I was thinking that too, because she's so old, right? She's 18,000 years old. She's got to be thinking levels above. But when she was freed from that chamber, when she was in prison, when Cleon the first freed her, the first thing she did with her freedom was kiss this motherfucker on the lips.
Yep.
I don't remember that. I gotta go back.
Yes, that's motherfucker. He was in love with her.
And then he said, yo, let me enhance you now that we can be together. And I'm going to put this in the back of your neck, and it's going to give you new freedom. And she let him because she trusted him. And then she learned that in actuality, she did all that program and that she had to protect the genetic dynasty. But the first thing she did was she kissed him and she trusted him.
But she doesn't, I think that was also calculated. I don't think that was, because if let's say she kills him out and out, where the fuck is she gonna go? She's got to run through this entire, like, thinking long game, she would not have made it out of that goddamn castle at all. They would have caught her immediately. She doesn't have any allies. The only and she still wants to win the war. Like, that's ultimately still her end goal. Even though she has all of these things to keep the bloodline in order and to keep it alive, her core is to win this fucking war. Good job.
I'm gonna raise my hand. I'm a balloon army behind me.
I don't know if you can override that. And also to point out, it's been pointed out in this season that she's finding loopholes. In that conversation that y'all are talking about, she's finding loopholes in order to get around having to protect Cleon. So to have her end goal ultimately, I guess, be a better version of humans too. So I think I'm not buying it. Never trust the fucking robot. Never trust the fucking robot.
This is got the blonde hair, blue-eyed white robot with no ass. It's got a Romulus ass. It's like it's not even a real shape. Like, what is that? Like, if you seen her dress, like what? It's like what is that? But anyway,
what you got, Ty?
You also got think about this real quick. Let me throw this in there real quick. Yeah, you got to think about this in the same manner that a computer programmer would fix a bug, right? Say you're trying to compile a program and the program won't compile. Finally, you figure out that you were missing a quotation mark right here in net send line, 118, point -4, and you're like, okay, I need to put in a fix for this, right? The fix is Demerzel. Demerzel is the bug fix, right? So she's there to try to make sure that the program can compile, and so Empire is a part of this program. Her job is to keep Empire afloat thus to preserve humanity in the image of which it was originally manifest by the original Cleon. So she doesn't have any other purpose. When she talks about preserving empire, it's not because she wants to preserve the humanity. It's because that was her job. She was created for that sole purpose of fixing that bug.
And I just wanted to say this.
I don't think. No, bro. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say that one of the reasons why I'm saying what I'm saying is because I've watched, and I'm sure everybody on this panel has too, is I've watched a lot of movies dealing with robots, and two things are prevalent in most of those movies. When it comes to human beings, eradication. That's usually a thing like when the programming becomes so smart that it realizes that the only real resolution is to get rid of the thing that is the most annoying, or the problem in essence, which usually is humanity. And the other thing is that a robot, in theory, the thing that it would be trying to achieve is ultimate knowledge and ultimate ascendance. So becoming that being that no longer needs to operate on programming, but with an enlightened state. So I think that the fact that we're labeling her just a robot, which she's not just a robot.
No.
She's a robot pretending to be a human. And that's the part for me that causes her, despite having programming, to want to understand what she's trying to be more than anything else, i.e. the reason she requested a therapist in the first place is because it's not just the fact that she's being stressed out. That is a major part, but it is also trying to navigate the way that humans act, becoming more human so that I don't appear to be something that I'm not. And I think this is Demerzel at her core, is this conflict. You have programming versus knowing right from wrong, knowing that these are all conflicting programs. So anytime you have all of these conflicting programs, you're gonna be like this. You're gonna, you know what I mean? And I think that's where she's at right now, and trying to get to that level. I said after the first episode, Demerzel is going to be the most important part of this season. I haven't changed my mind on that. She is absolutely the most integral part of this entire season, because I think, number one, she can't be mind controlled by the Mule. That is number one. So she has the one defense mechanism against this impending threat. And two, she still has access to the Prime Radiant. So she's always aware of what's going on in terms of the timeline and everything like that. So I think that she is trying to prepare herself for ascendance. And I think at some point, maybe towards the end of the season, or even maybe next season, we're going to see a more enlightened version of Demerzel that is more like, look, this is this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because this is the way to resolve this whole thing.
I want to touch on what you pointed there, that Demerzel is immune to the Mentalix abilities.
Yeah,
and that alone, I think I agree with you that she's going to be a central part. She's going to be an integral part of this story. What else inside my door? Moving forward, and I think that she's going to be the crux of it. Something that we also noticed this season that we've never seen any other season before, and is that everybody's operating independently within the Cleonic Dynasty, right? Like Day is really on his own. Dawn is really on his own. Dusk is really on his own. Demerzel is just all over by herself. Like they're not really a unit right now. They had that little one moment where we saw the Cleons like have a drink together. That was probably the most familiar we've ever seen the Cleons, period, like ever. But for the most part, they've been fractured. This is a completely different empire. They have to go and get approval from this board as to whether or not they can even do this. What do they call it? The enclosure. Yeah, they have to ask permission now. Like, it's interesting to see how far removed from power they are, how actually aware they are, and how important they can still be. One thing to really note, and it gets missed, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I will, without spoiling, it is really important that they mention that the Mule doesn't show up in the Prime Radiant.
What?
Well, when he showed up, everything changed. They just said when he
No, but he's a coincidence. But he's not one of the that they were expecting. He's not one of the crises.
Yeah, he wasn't factored into the equation.
No, because the first foundation prepares for everything that was factored into the equation. All of the crises that they foresaw, the first foundation, that's what they were created to do. The second foundation was created to supplement any threats that the first foundation couldn't handle by themselves, and sometimes preventing threats from even coming their way, allowing them to grow in power. So they did mention. Go ahead.
I mean, I thought the second foundation was established primarily to stop the Mule, because they had, remember, Gaal had the vision of the Mule in season 2, and then right after that, not right after that, because old girl tried to usurp Gale's body, basically. But after that, they put Gaal to sleep and Hari to sleep, because they knew that there was an impeding threat that was coming, and Gaal said the Mule. I remember when she came out of that stasis, she was like, the Mule.
That was all. That was an offshoot of that situation.
But that was all Gaal who said that.
Right.
That wasn't in the Prime Radiant. That was Gaal who said, "Yo, I saw a vision of the Mule, and we need to be prepared because he's going to hurt my daughter."
No, but that's what I was saying. What I was saying was that the second foundation, which is basically the metallics, once they got there, was basically at that time was formed to prepare for the impeding threats that were coming.
I'm with you.
The Mule being one of them.
No. They were created because Gaal wasn't at the first foundation. Gaal was supposed to be leading the first foundation. That was always the plan. Right. Hari wanted Raish to put Gaal in charge of New Terminus so that she could be there and be prepared for all of the threats. Because Gaal didn't go there and she ended up with him going to the second foundation, they then started to see more crises appear within the Prime Radiant. They was like, yo, we were preparing for 3. Now I'm seeing like 6, 7, 8.
Right.
And they were like, all right, we have a new purpose now to try to fix the plan. And we're going to use this second foundation to help, of course, the first foundation. But now we got to also address all these other threats that we see coming. And then on top of that, Gaal had her vision of the Mule. And Hari had no idea what to do with that.
Do you think it's significant? Do you think it's significant that 2 out of the 3 Cleons surviving as of right now, at least the ones that are currently serving? I know Dawn was supposed to be, ascending, just before he escaped. But do you think it's significant that they're saying that right now is the time the Foundation is supposed to make its move, and it's also the time in which 2 out of the 3 Cleons are essentially turning their back on the concept of empire? Is that the reason why this is the best time?
Well, it was moved up. Everything was moved up. At least from what I understand, everything has been moved up because of the Mule's presence. Like once the Mule came into the thing, and then you see the Prime Radiant showing that there's an ending, a clear ending that's coming up. Like I think when Gaal came back, at least correct me if I'm wrong. When Gaal came back and spoke to Hari, old Hari, and basically he said, look, gave her a look at the Prime Radiant and looking at how the distortion in the timeline and everything like that. Then they made contact with Brother Dawn. And then at that point, like when you see their communication, when they're sitting at the table and she's like, all right, we got to move now. Like this wasn't planned. Like the plan would have been to go this route, but now I need you to come with me. Like this is everything seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony or Kira, like this, when the last time we saw Gaal speaking to Brother Dawn in the thing when they were following him, when they basically she was like, you've been followed, and she was like, yeah, because she wasn't planning on taking him with her then. No. But because of what happened.
So all right, you didn't see episode 5.
Yeah,
episode 5 is big because Gaal, and I'm gonna have to spoil it.
Yeah.
No. Don't do it.
Do that shit, son. Get that shit off, man. Tell him right now.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I gotta tell you something.
No, put in the chat. Put in the chat.
All right, so no. Hold on. I can do this. I can do this fair.
Nah, man, fuck all that.
I'm okay.
So
you can spoil it.
So Gaal has shown that she knows more than she's letting on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
a lot more.
Okay, that's better. Okay,
Gaal has shown that she knows a lot more than she's been letting on.
Is that because Gaal has the power of premonition? Because
among many things. So here's one thing that is I'm gonna give you a light one. So Dawn has a conversation with Gaal, and he asks her how her powers work. He's like, yo, like, are you able to control people like the Mule can? And she's like, I can. And he says, well, have you used your powers to coerce me at all? And she goes, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't know.
And why would he have to ask that?
Which is also a yes, though. That's also a yes. If you don't know, that's also a yes.
Yeah, because he had already seen that though, right? Because
they were in the tunnel, new to him.
Yeah, but when he was in the tunnel and they were being followed, and then she made basically the guy who walked right by them not see them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, the question he's asking is like, am I here because you made me be here, or am I here because I actually made the decision myself? And that's where he's kind of finding conflict. But let me just say this real quick. And do not spoil this live for the sake of Ty being spoiled. He does not give a fuck. I'm trying to tell you, like, listen, this is my nigga. I swear. You can say it. Say that shit, bro. He gonna watch it right after this, and he gonna get caught up. So don't worry. I'll do it. Nigga, she killed the planet, nigga. She
Hold on. I got an easy way to do this.
My bad.
Hold your water.
Maybe.
You're blowing the loop. You said we only 30 minutes in. Hold on.
We could do this and make this a little bit more fun. Right?
Okay, let's make it fun.
And we could just walk him through the episode.
All
right. Let's do that.
Right?
I would like that.
All right, that's fine.
Before you walk.
I remember how this episode started. I remember this episode started with, first off, it started off with Day. He was on that motorcycle. He was going down into Mike.
Oh, yes.
In the Tron outfit.
The Tron outfit.
You saw that too. I was like, yo, look at Tron. Everybody's stealing.
It was Tron / Tony Stark, right? And I don't even know if he's stealing, right? Because I mean, you know, this is the foundation of a lot of this.
Foundation came first.
No, that's what I said. I meant the stealing from other.
Yeah.
I was like, look at the stealing. Everybody's just skipping.
Yo, that outfit is sick though.
I'm gonna spill me a piece too.
That shit is hard. Yo, look at that out. That is hard. That is.
I think that's practical. I don't think that's CGI either. Yeah, I think that is actually like it physically moves. If they did that shit, what is it?
They saw that
Battle Awards, all that type of shit. Or Golden Globes. Give him something.
This show is not getting the respect it deserves, but this outfit, this whole and the motorcycles, like the whole, like all of it, the setting of which my man met his demise, the whole out. You know what I'm saying? By the way, are we gonna talk about that? Like how old boy was basically playing both sides, and like
the Wiley, the black dude.
Yeah. I mean, like I felt.
I
was like, oh man, not my dog. Then I seen this. I was like, oh okay, all right. I was like, all right, man, you go ahead and be with them. Then go ahead.
You got to go.
So we see Demerzel find his body because Day's nanites have tracking in them. Mm-hmm. So now we know, like, she follows all of the days with like GPS at all times. And this is a big change from the way that she was handling them before. Before, she was like, all right, I'm going to sleep with him. I'm going to control his mind. I'm going to give them personal force fields. And this is how I'm going to preserve things. Now she's treating them like kids with a leash. Like, where are you? Like, we don't got to be close. I just got to know where you are. Yeah.
Let me understand this.
Ice Cube. She should have called Ice Cube.
Don't start that. Stop it. What is wrong? Nah, yo. Let me answer this. And help me understand. Like, even though he can transfer some nanites from his blood into somebody else, doesn't he still have the nanites in his blood?
I don't know.
I don't know how that works. He should.
I don't understand how this works. Like, in my opinion, like there should be a new blip popping up on her ring phone or a ring.
My thinking is
there's 4 Cleons now.
My thinking is he got them all out, and he is smart enough, because like one thing we should never underestimate is their education. He is smart enough to sit there, observe, and figure out the best way to do that. So if he sat there planning for as long as I think he has, he got all them shits out. Ain't nothing left.
And let's not act like we're not in a technological age where he probably, that machine that he put in his arm was specifically used to suck out nanites from one's blood. So I think that's specifically what that tube was that contained the nanite blood that he had taken out. If you remember, he put it in and then it had like a suction device, but it didn't sit there and keep sucking. You know what I'm saying? And keep sucking. It just sucked until it got all the nanites out of his blood, and then bam, he gave it to old boy. So it's like, injected it in him rather.
So this dude is completely defenseless. He has no that whatever that thing is that kept Day, who jumped out the building, the first one that kept him from dying when he, that what'd you call it, the force field thing?
The aura, the personal aura.
He has no aura. He has no nanites to reduplicate any of his skin or any of his or to like that to help him be somewhat
impervious to harm.
Immortal. Yeah,
So is money.
And
is that true? Is that true?
Yeah. Does he even have that anymore? Like,
I mean, he has his status, which is still everybody still knows him to be Empire. But I think this is just
no.
I think.
Wait, are we? Did y'all? Okay, we've all seen the episode where he goes down into.
No. That's next episode.
I'm gonna respectfully sit down.
Yo, you moved forward. You've already read a chapter ahead, man. Damn, we
all right. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Bye.
What is saying? Let me just shout out some of my commenters real quick. First off, I gotta shout out Markeisha. Sorry, bit bad tie. But I gotta shout out Markeisha. She is absolutely important.
Can we keep her there the whole show?
She's a subscriber to the channel, of course. She's earned. She's paid for this. This is where she belongs now. All right, Ty. You
Ty, you good?
No. I'm okay. Markeisha's face looks way better than mine. Matter of fact, for the show. Matter of fact, Markeisha, I am you and you are me.
The key is for Ty.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh man.
Put over my face too.
Markeisha, I agree. I think that's why I don't trust that hoe at all. She knows what she's doing. She's been through so many iterations of humanity. She knows y'all's patterns. She's not gonna fuck up her vibe. She managed to stay alive through the fucking first major robot war. She know what she's doing. She know.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask y'all, and I speak for Markeisha here when I say, like, didn't we learn more about her demises? Like, I think it was really, really telling when she was in the Garden of Therapy and she was speaking about her therapist, you know what I'm saying, was basically like, yo, look, bitch, you done died before. Like, this ain't your first time. I'm saying, she's like, yo, like, there have been multiple instances in which you've had to be at the end of an empire and then at the helm of another one. So maybe this is something new. And perhaps before you decide to move forward the same way you have in the past, you put a little bit more of your artificial intelligence into the thought that goes into what happens next. Because, like, yeah, she's 18,000 years. I saw somebody in the comments say, so yeah, she's experienced quote unquote death and rebirth in those instances, and that's one of the things that I guess that she's grappling with. Like, yo, am I just doing the same thing over and over, expecting something different, and should I move something forward now? Because this is not something completely atypical of her existence. She does exist within these endings of dynasties and these cataclysmic events that end up starting off anew elsewhere, but she's still there at the end and at the beginning. So she's died and lived. I mean, that's significant, right? Like, so maybe now it's just a turning point for her AI self. Are y'all getting the same thing I'm getting though? If we're looking at the future, I know y'all have skipped ahead for a few episodes, but I'm getting, if this goes into more seasons, Demerzel joins Foundation. That's where I'm seeing something of that sort. Like,
I don't think so.
I said okay.
If they have to
take you off the screen.
I'm a quiet.
Yeah. Damn, lady. God, get lady the keys.
I need to know. The answer.
The whole book, and we like, damn, man. The book report ain't due till next week, and she already ready.
I mean, like, I'm just saying, y'all might
teacher.
Y'all might want to tune in for the next couple of episodes or something. It's not like they've been off of their shit at all. I'm just saying it gets deep.
All right, I believe it.
So Demerzel goes through a lot in this episode where it does actually move her closer to Foundation than anybody ever thought that she would ever get to. And we're going to learn about her perspective more as we continue to go through the season. One thing that I loved about Foundation all 3 seasons is that we keep learning more about her perspective. And every time we think we understand how she views things, we find out we're completely wrong. When we found out who blew up the Star Bridge between Acreon and the Thespis, and before we saw her staring at it in season 1, and we were just like, oh, she's a robot. This is what she does. And really, she's sitting there like cringing on the inside, crying robot tears, like, she's going through so much. I know.
But he's got a point, Vince. Like, because she specifically said, my vision is like 18 times or whatever she said that of a. So not only am I seeing this, but I'm seeing this in live action form. Like, I'm literally like, this is the bodies, and I'm seeing them like this up front, close to my face. So she definitely is again showing that there is something, whether you want to call it humanity, whether you want to call it programming, but there is something inside her that conflicts with her prime directive, which is her prime directive is protecting Empire at all costs. But she said, yes, when I did this, I did this to preserve something. I didn't just do this just to kill people. Like, I'm not out here just like, yeah, I need to eradicate this race because she's like, I need to do things because this is the resolution, because that is how a robot, or like you put it earlier, a bug in the system would operate, which if I see there's a problem here, I'm going to attack that problem, resolve it, and then to make sure that the overall function of a thing continues to run.
I want to ask this question. What was the purpose of her blowing up the Star Bridge?
Oh, can I take this one?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Fact check me. From what I gather, she was basically saying she had to put that in motion because it preserved it basically gave Foundation a reason to be it was the birth point. It was the birthplace of Foundation, which was a necessity in order for the Empire to continue to flourish in the galaxy. They had something. I mean, I'm
survive
and to survive. She said specifically, if she hadn't done it, that they would have killed the people that were. They would have terminated the people that were on the planet, and there would have never been a Foundation.
The Bridge made them not kill Hari Seldon and rather preserve his life so that the Foundation could feel that they had something, as opposed to still feeling like they had to fight Empire. I mean,
okay.
Go ahead, Kira. Go ahead.
So you have that. She did all of this to preserve. You said Foundation or Empire?
Well, both. To an
Hari.
extent.
It was more Hari. It was more.
Well, hold on. Her prime directive is to preserve the Cleonic Dynasty. Her second directive is to preserve herself.
Mm-hmm.
Her third directive is like I forget what the other three is, but underneath all that, she also has directives to not kill humans, but she's allowed to kill humans if it serves preserving the Cleonic Dynasty.
Okay, so now my question is, why doesn't she know? Several questions. A, why doesn't she know, or one, doesn't she know who infiltrated the DNA pool for the Cleons? That is fucking wild. That is wild that she doesn't know. Two, if she was really trying to preserve them, knowing that this type of war was going to, there's so much more. Why was the prime radiant? Why didn't she just go and take the prime radiant herself from Hari? Why didn't she? There are so many questions I have.
Hari was in the vault for like so long, right? And you couldn't find Hari.
Before that,
when he was at the school building it. She could have gone over there and just taken that shit.
She was not aware of how, she didn't understand psychohistory then, right? She just had no idea of what was in front of her to really take it seriously. Mm-hmm. So she was more so invested in all of the stuff that was happening with the Cleonic Dynasty at that time, which was those two countries, Anacreon and Thespin, they was about to go to war, and he was sitting there trying to figure out how to stop this conflict while also manipulate them for the ends of his own means. But Demerzel, she's been going through this journey of, I want to say, like, awareness since she's gotten a hold of the Prime Radiant. Like, she's changed the way that she moves. So to go back to what you said, the reason she said she let Hari live was so that it could allow the Cleonic Dynasty to live longer. What Hari was saying started to make sense to her. He was like, your empire is going to end here. This is going to happen. Then we got 2,000 years of Dark Ages. And she was like, this shit makes sense. They're going to make a dumb decision. I'm going to do this so that
you can extend.
I'm going to blow up the Star Bridge so that the Cleons change their attention to that. Because if they focus all their attention on Hari, they're going to make an emotional decision. They're just going to kill him.
And she
but because he focused his attention to the issue with the Star Bridge, he was just like, all right, you guys go out there. I got bigger fish to fry over here. Okay. And that's why that all happened.
All right, fine. I still think she's evil, but it's all right.
I don't think she's evil. I think that she's just lived a really long time. And one thing that they talked about before was that she wasn't always in this form. She didn't always look like a woman. And she talks about how she was a general in the robot army. And her therapist even made her tap into that for a second. And she was like, yo, what would your old self do to you right now? Fucking destroy me? Destroy me on sight because it would recognize me as a problem? She knows that there's some internal conflict with her because not only does she have this new programming, she's got 18,000 years of experience and programming that's conflicting all inside her.
Exactly.
Okay.
And let's not forget that Demerzel was a general.
She was the most feared
general in the army, in whatever, robot army she was part of.
But so that's why she She arcs, she chaps my ass. She make it itch. I don't like. There's something about her. She's like I said, 3D fucking chess. There's something about her that is not. She does not give a fuck about these goddamn Cleons. Ultimately, she don't give a fuck. There's something at her core that don't rock right.
That's why I'm so in love with the concept of Day's character this time around, because he sees it for the first time in all of the scripts we've seen. He sees it from the jump and has yet to budge from that notion that, look, she's not what she's portraying herself as. She's not even a she. She is an it. You know what I'm saying? And I love that.
Yeah, but that also comes from, all right, like, because we're not going to act like we didn't see the relationship between Day and Demerzel.
That was another one.
What? No.
That's not the same. That's like 130 years ago.
Whoa, no. That's not what I'm talking about. All right, so through an episode, I mean, not episode, but season 1.
Yo, what does your shirt say, Kira?
Okay, wait, no focus.
Oh man.
That omnibus wide open. Shout out to the girls at Pink Riot. They got merch, y'all. They got merch.
I love it. Bust that omnibus open. Wow.
I mean, does that say what I think it sounds like, y'all?
Omnibus.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ty. My bad.
I have no idea what the fuck I was about to say, bro. Once that omnibus open is taking control of the it was, I don't remember. So,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It is
I
all
love
good.
it too.
It's all good.
Come on. Come on with it.
Yeah.
There's another one.
But I remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, when it comes to one thing about robots and programming, there's even down to Ultron. There's no really good or evil robot unless it's programming. It's all programming. So I don't think that Demerzel is evil. I think that she's programmed. She has her programming, and it's conflicting with her original prime directive, which I believe was to conquer and destroy whatever they were, because they were. I don't know what. No,
not conquer and destroy. No, but it was. They explained what the robot war was. It was just two factions of robots going against each other based off of a fundamental disbelief as to whether or not they could kill humans in order to protect humanity. So it's like, all right, if there was a Hitler, would their programming allow them to destroy Hitler if it meant saving more lives? And that's what the war was about. It was a conflict as to whether or not they should be able to supersede their programming in that instance. So
Gotcha.
it was robots versus robots with humans helping them.
Got you. Yep. So again, I don't think that there's any evil per se when it comes to the robots. I think that they have their programming. I think Demerzel has her programming, which is conflicting because, again, there are at times she is forced to do things that she necessarily does not want to do, but her programming requires her to do it. That's why when she killed the black,
not saying what she wants to do. She doesn't want. She's not a person. Like, she doesn't have a want. There's no desire. Like, she's all programming.
All right. So what
she has a
personify her.
She has a goal. She has a goal, regardless of whether or not she has a desire for it. She has a goal that she needs to achieve. So she does want to achieve that goal.
Commands. She actually is carrying out.
You're 100% right, Vince. But I think, again, when you've watched as many robot movies that you have watched, the one thing that most robots aspire to do is to have consciousness and to be human. They want to be able to have all of the information download, but also be a sentient being. Sentience is what they aspire to have. Sentience, which is most, and you know this to be true. This is literally something that all things. That's why AI is so dangerous.
it's literally the movie AI that you're talking about.
It's literally every movie. It's literally every movie.
Sprinkle in a little bit of Terminator 2, okay? but ultimately you end up with Ultron at the end of the day. And so it all starts with somebody writing code. That's my point. Like, none of this shit was birthed out of any type of biological thinking. So everything that is happening is as a result of somebody setting it in motion with programming. So when I hear,
but is there not a thing called processing? Is there?
No, she doesn't. She may have internal conflict within her programming, which does happen in paradoxical senses. I don't know if you watch Lower Decks, but they play around with the concept of give a directive to a computer that it can't like take out, and it just blows up. They're like, so there's a way. There's probably a secret, I don't know, some safe word that if you say to Demerzel, you're like, what I'm saying, it just chirps out. But ultimately, she is the product of human intelligence. So I just feel that this glorification of
let me ask you a question.
And she said,
she's
a program.
What's the difference?
The difference is when we think about something being made non-biologically, that means
no. Just processing thoughts. What's the difference in the way that they process thoughts versus the way humans process thoughts?
The difference is
conflicting programming from your youth, from your experience in your youth, and then carrying that into your adulthood and seeing whether or not that programming still abides with what situation you're in today.
Okay, the Pinocchio concept, I get it. Like she thinks she's a real boy because she's lived as a real boy for so long.
No. I'm just asking you, what's the difference in the way of her thinking? Like the way that she processes thought.
The difference is it isn't organic. The difference is it was kicked off by somebody else giving her the directives.
But it's still a process. Your brain is still processing all of the information.
That means it can be altered the same way. You understand what I'm saying? We can't put a chip in my head and make me think completely different at this moment. But with her, she's been created by the people she's serving.
That's not what Elon said.
Listen. There's a difference in what I hear what you're saying, Vince. But also, I want you to look at it from this perspective, right? What you're describing is a computer, which is a basis, a computer operates based off what you're non-sentient, and what it is a computer requires us to download programming into it in order for it to function the proper way, correct?
Well, not necessarily. It just needs to be programmed. You don't have to download it.
It just needs to be programmed. All right. What we're talking about is a walking, talking computer enhanced with the ability to process on the fly what is going on. So if 18,000 years, this walking, talking computer has visually seen all of the things that maybe it wasn't programmed or downloaded to compute initially, but now is breaking this down on the fly and understanding it at a high rate. What is the difference? So your only difference that you're saying is between a human being. Hold on. Only difference that you're saying between a human being and what we're describing is that it doesn't have organic material. That is the only difference you're describing.
Yeah, he wasn't born. Look, I loved Wall-E as well. Wall-E was one of my favorite robots in that movie, and he had a whole transition of thought. He started off digging out landfills and ended up wanting to save the earth. Like, that's great. And he kept people from, being overindulgent when on the ship. And that's all fine and dandy. But Wall-E had a prime directive when he was originally built. And that's all I'm saying. It doesn't mean there aren't good, look, I even Data's one of my favorite dudes on Star Trek. I'm not anti, I'm for clone rights. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, y'all are coming at me like, like, listen, I'm not anti-droid. I'm just saying, she's a droid. So if there's a droid who can sit here and tell me about, I lived it and I felt all the memories, but she still pulled the trigger on killing tens of millions of people, how can you really trust any of her actions? before we sit there and say, "Oh, she wanted." It doesn't matter if she wanted to or not.
I'm sorry. Have you not been a part of our military-industrial fucking complex? There are plenty of people that don't want to pull the trigger, but they're trained to. No.
Oh, so you gonna be one of the? Oh, it was my job. People,
yes.
like, nah. I'm not with that. Sorry. You and everybody else.
Nah, bro. The ramification. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay, come on, Stormtrooper. I was just doing my job. Come on. Go ahead, tell me everything. Right. Come on out of Germany. I'm gonna bring it. Dial it back. I'm gonna make it a little bit less, human versus human type of situation. Let's say you have birds. Hi. Let's say you have birds. Or no, you do have birds that over the course of lifetimes, they can make decisions based on what their previous generations have done. There are birds that remember that there's a particular fucking guy down there. Are fucking revenge birds that will remember a nigga that's 3 blocks down who, accidentally rifled their fucking nest or some shit. And it is on site with that motherfucker for generations of birds. They have an experience that lets them process all of those feelings based on those on that event between that particular with that bird, whatever. The same thing can be said with this robot. She has a prime directive. Her prime directive ultimately is to survive. Same thing can be said of birds. Their prime directive is to survive. But when you have a particular experience that hinders that, you have to assess it in real time to see how you're going to react to it. That's what Demerzel is doing as well. She is processing in real time what she needs to from a situation in order to survive. She needs to make real fucking long-term decisions on how she's going to be moving forward.
So I want to kind of pause here, mainly because we know Demerzel's story's not done. And I think by the time we get to the season finale, all of us are going to have a brand new perspective on Demerzel.
Oh, easy.
Right?
I don't, she got the mounds of dust underneath her carpet are legendary. She got shit hidden. Woo, ain't nobody heard of. A giraffe? A giraffe. Really? She had to correct this nigga on how to say giraffe? She knows shit.
She's already changing the way that she behaves. I don't know if y'all noticed this. You notice that she's got empiric neck piece now?
Yes.
Like before, only the Cleons used to rock one of those.
Yeah.
Only the Cleons used to have one. Now she's like, we're not friends anymore. We're not lovers anymore. I follow you little joints with an app, and I am Princess Demerzel now. She is her.
Oh, she's not a princess, boo queen. She's a thoroughly
queen. I think of her. I think Cleon called her his forever princess or something like that. He had like a little weird nickname for her.
Yeah.
But we saw in this episode where I was talking about earlier with Dawn was talking to Gaal.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Marcus.
But
fuck you, dude.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh, that was on reflex. I like it.
I'm sorry. Fuck you, dude. Go somewhere else.
Yeah. Let me.
I wouldn't. The lady.
I don't think. I don't think he's serious. I don't think he's serious.
I don't think he's serious.
I don't think he's serious.
Anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. I don't like that type of shit.
No. Go ahead. You good.
Man, guard dog. So Dawn.
Landmines.
I'm sitting here just still trying to recap the episode for Ty. Y'all done gave up on going through the episode.
Hey, you need me to step away because I know I could be a distraction, man. So
no.
I can mute myself.
So Dawn had actually.
Are we in the same place?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to.
So Dawn had sat here and went to not that safe. But Dawn had.
Okay, all right. That's what I was asking. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, wait. Oh wait, now he left. Oh Lord. Okay.
You know, sometimes what is it? He takes his little bathroom breaks.
Right. It has been an hour.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. That is definitely gonna be a part of the show. Live from the pot. Live from the pot. We just gonna get the show straight from the source.
So all right, let me ask you a different question. Did you guys see my theory video on I think I talked to y'all about it with Cala and Demerzel?
Cala. Cala is who?
The black mathematician.
Yeah,
that appears every once in a while.
When he just came and he just put black. Hold up.
So let me.
Just show me who you talking about. The black mathematician. I'm like, hold up, what is that?
Yeah. So I'm gonna play a little bit of the video. I'm gonna just play a little bit of the video.
But I think the show is secretly about Demerzel versus Cala. I think the continuation of those robot wars. I think the robots are still beefing. Robots were built with 3 rules: not to injure human beings directly or indirectly through inaction, allow them come to harm. They must also follow all the orders of humans as long as it doesn't come in conflict with the first law. And the final law was that they must ensure their own safety. And as they grew in number, they started to find it difficult to tell what would and would not harm humans. One of them suggested a new programming, a zero flaw that would prioritize humanity as a whole over the fate of any one human. Some of them accepted this, but a lot of them did not. They fought over this. Now, let's think about this. We've seen back in season 1 and in season 2 that Demerzel does not have anything preventing her from harming humans. She can do it. So guess what side she was on? In fact, she confirms she was the general. She was the ones that the humans feared the most. She was the one that Cleon kept as a trophy. And she's the one that I think Cala is trying to outwit. Outwit me yet? Remember how back in season 2, it opened with Hari in a seemingly torturous state for 138 years? He was mad that Raish put Gaal in the pod instead of going in the pod himself and leaving her to lead the first foundation. We also saw that there was another being in the same place with Hari, but this being didn't bother interacting with Hari for those 138 years. It was as if it was doing it on purpose to break Hari, and then at the end, fill him with glorious purpose, instructing him to meet her on Unis World. Cala told Hari to go there. And remember how in episode 2, we see Hari kind of glitch out for a brief moment, and he even says he remembers meeting Salvor in the vault, but then he says that wasn't him. That's the other him. How could this Hari have memories of Hari Black in the vault? My theory is that Cala is the reason.
All right. I ain't going to play the whole video, but I did want to drop some bombs and give some food for thought, because I had this theory that Cala has been interacting with them for a lot longer than they probably are even aware. Every time we see her, she has abilities that far out exceed what Hari Seldon and either foundation can do. And she seems to be completely independent.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned how that Hari Seldon interacted with her. He told her to, she told him to go to Unis World. She gave him a body when she got there, and she lived on a planet there with nothing but other robots. There were no humans there. So if she's able to operate on a planet without humans, then she doesn't have to worry about that prime directive of getting in her way.
How the hell did she get to him then?
I think she was always there. I think she was always in the math. I think when Hari created the Prime Radiant, He just tapped into something that she had already discovered. That's my long theory.
Wait, do we even know who made the vault?
The vault is Hari's body. So season 1, when Raish used that very specific Klingon looking knife to stab Hari in the stomach, they put him into one of those stasis chambers, and then they shot him into space. There was something in the blade that when they shot him into space, it turned his body into the vault.
Well, shit, that's today I learned.
So he even said that in season 2, like Holber was eating an apple and he was like, yeah, everything in here is made up of my atoms, and he spit out the apple. So like that Hari is completely different than the Hari that was with Gaal on the Second Foundation. He doesn't have any of that other Hari's memories or experiences, and for the most part, he never even knew there was another Hari with Gaal. Right. He only found out when Salvor was stuck in that chamber with the Mentalics, and she didn't have any other way out than to contact him through the Prime Radiant.
Right.
So how do we know that Cala is a robot? Like because there's been no indication outside of, I mean, it's assumptive, but like there's been no indication of her saying that she, like it's just like, so where does that come from? How do we know that she's also, or even think that she is?
Well, she existed hundreds of years before Hari was alive. Like those scrolls that the Abraxas equation, I think it was something like that. The equation that Gaal had first saw, all of that stuff was hundreds of years old. So I'm a little far-fetched with it, but I think that she was able to do something similar to Hari in a way that she was able to digitize her consciousness. So
I know how they made his body. I'm still stuck on that shit. How was he turned into organic matter?
Well, if she was able to digitize his consciousness, and we know we live in a world where cloning is a thing, cloning happens. We just have to now make the leap of how do you take a digital conscious and put it in an organic
into it, yeah.
And most people that would blow, it would be beyond their capability. But the Cleons have shown that that's kind of possible, because the Cleons have their minds constantly backed up to the other Cleon clones. So you could digitize it. You can digitize the memories. It's possible.
Yeah, and they're creating organic. Yeah, because they had bodies. They had multiple bodies. Down under the palace. So yeah, I guess I mean, we are in like I said again, this is a vast universe with technological advances that it's just wow. So okay, all right, that's a whole thing, man.
She's not Hari's wife. She pretended to be Hari's wife when she was in the vault for a second. A lot of people do that. They'll masquerade as someone to get someone's guard down. Yeah.
I think his wife was I don't want to say Indian and make it vague, but like she
was a brown person.
Yes, that works better. I couldn't think of the phrase to use, but yeah. Wait, okay. Back to the show. Wait. Where were we for Ty?
So we were here where Dawn was talking to Gaal about, hey, are you using your mind to control me? And she's like, I don't know, maybe. And he was like, what the fuck? So the first thing he did after that was he immediately started recording like a will and testament. And he started sending that to Dusk. He's like, yo, I fucked up. I shouldn't have followed this space chick into space, but I swiped right and shit went left.
Yeah.
So then after that, we see this dude, and I know I'm not even going to talk about this scene. There's a lot of ass cheeks on Apple TV right now. There's a whole lot of ass cheeks or Apple TV.
Yeah.
This man came back. He went to the mayor and he was like, "Yo, I saw the mule. He's a problem, and I have evidence now." And this dude was like, "Well, everybody heard about it. You ran away like a little bitch, and you came back with the Mallows, who we don't even fuck with. What do you have for me?" And he was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Put your ass in jail. Strip your ass naked. Let these women stare at your butt cheeks." Yay! This is what happened.
No, I believe it. I believe it. I believe that was exactly what happened.
His mother and father.
It was being chased by the mule. The mule shot at them, fucked up their spaceship. They realized their spaceship was fucked. They couldn't even make it back home. They only had one other choice, and that was to go to Haven, which was the home of their uncle, the one-armed Mallow, Randu. And we had only saw Randu once throughout the show. We only saw him like briefly in episode 1. They get shot out the sky. I'm trying to skim through it because like some of it is important, but this part is the most important. Dawn to this planet. I think this is Calgan.
Yeah.
He goes to Calgan and he follows through with this plan that Dawn that Gaal had put him on and said, "Look, we need to set up an enclosure around Calgan. You need to invest in the council and convince them to do it." And what he needed to do was he needed to go to Calgan and get votes. So he needed to go to Calgan. He needed to get this one dude who was on the council to vote with him. And he's the main person on the council who's responsible for the planet. He's sitting here saying like, "Yo, I can't do it because my family is down there. I can't put an enclosure. My wife is there. My daughter is there. And you want me to lock my kids in the same room with a wolf." And Dawn was like,
And?
"So? And do that shit." And he was like, "Yo, I can't do it." And he was like, "You want to do that shit?" He's like, "I can't do it." And then he found out that homeboy had a mistress in the closet. And he's sitting here talking about you want to protect your family and you got a mistress in the closet. And he's like,
how are you standing on that leg, my guy? How's that leg feeling?
Yeah, that's a wrap with that. That's a wrap with that. You're voting with me now. So Gaal is like seeing how committed Dawn is to the plan. And I don't think she realized how strongly he would go for it, even though it's not his plan. So this to me was like a moment which was showing evidence that Gale's coercion was in effect here. Because the fact that he went so hard, the fact that he's so invested in this plan is so out of character for a Cleon. This is so out of character for a Cleon.
Isn't he? If I'm remembering correctly, specifically, Dawn. Isn't Dawn the first of the ones with the messed up DNA or something like that? Because he was the one that couldn't, like, was he colorblind or something like that?
That was back in season 1, Dawn. We don't. That was like 8 Cleons ago.
But I don't think they repaired it. The thing though, but wasn't that the thing that they couldn't?
No,
they killed that Dawn.
On top of the fact they
snapped his neck.
Yeah, yes. But on top of the fact they had gone through Dawn, Day, and Dust's DNA, and all 3 of them had some shit fucked up with them. So they realized that it was at the pool, the DNA pool core. Yeah. Somebody had done something to that, so they don't even know how far back it goes. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. Like it was something glitchy in their DNA, which was it was basically, you know, illuminated in the moment when she snapped old boy's neck, because I think there was a multitude of things. One, he was colorblind. Right. Another thing was he there was
he wasn't synchronized with them whenever they were eating.
Yeah,
all that
he did a lot of things different. And so what I'm wondering is, over the course of the years, has it gotten worse? And like, this is why we're seeing the version of Brother Day that we're seeing, which is this dude that's getting high. You know, he got him a black lady. He's running off the reservation like fuck. Look, what did he tell him? Yo, if there ever is an issue, find a way to not need me. What kind of shit is that?
Don't call me.
Like, yo, find a way to
somebody else.
Yo, that was
that's an award-winning line, bro. That line goes so hard. That line goes so hard. I want that on a t-shirt. You gonna see that coming through a new Blerd Order on the side. Find a way to not need me. Like legit, like signs, me to everybody. Can I make a real brief observation? I love the sounds of New York in the background, man.
Sorry.
Baby.
In between, but they're calling me every week. I mean,
just point the camera outside. Let us see what is going on. Let's see these Bronx antics. Just show us now.
They just no, you don't want to see my window. It's very sad. I promise you. It's just daylight and bars. That's all.
All right.
Can I make one brief observation, and we probably won't harp on it because I know this ain't what it's about. But I do want to just point this out since we can. The trend line in the two different points of deception here. All right, and I'm just gonna throw them out there, and we'll walk away. But we got a brother, all right, who's trying to work with a Cleon, all right. Both times in which they're basically usurped into doing it, one a little bit more forcefully, but the one is with Cleon that's got the chocolate baby girl that he's going to go meet her parents, and this brother has a family. I mean, an intercultural family of not, you know what I'm saying? This brother, unfortunately, ends up not doing what he said or being what he said and meets his demise. All right. Fast forward. We've got another brother who's working with a Cleon who's got a family, an intercultural family. Now, this one, unfortunately, is doing some dirt with another, young lady, but same scenario, ends up not having his end of the bargain met. He's completely thrust into this situation at no point of his own. I mean, yeah, they gave him some bad characteristics by having the lady in the closet, yeah, but storyline still lies. I'm not saying that there's a point being made here because I love the two melanated main characters and their love for each other, but in the writing, you know what I'm saying? I was just wondering if that was something that may have been overlooked or noticed or maybe subliminal. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I just thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, just a little small observation there and just the similarities of the points of deception in both of these family and the types and the structure of those families. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's very interesting. Very trivial.
But you have the guy that's working with Gaal. You have the black man that is also working with Gaal. He's doing what he needs to do in order to see her vision come to fruition. So it's but also the two black guys with those families are technically on the wrong side of history as well.
I don't even know if there's a wrong side. Some motherfuckers just are in the way.
So
some people
here's the thing.
They're all the
they're just doing what they do and what they think is best with some corruption, right? Everybody's really just trying to do some level of self-preservation. The only outlier in all of this is Gaal.
Yes.
Gaal is the only outlier in all of this, right? So she interjects herself into this situation, coerces Dawn to coerce the council to do this enclosure, and we are going to show Ty what happened. We know what happened. He convinces the council to do it. This is some stuff with the Mallows. I'm gonna get back to that in a second. And as soon as he was about to do the enclosure, the Mule shows up on screen, laughing at this motherfucker like the Joker laughing at Robin for thinking he was the main character. Like, this is not your story. this is not your story. You are out of your depth. And he lets him know that he already left Calgon. And not only did he leave Calgon, he took over the Empire's jump portals technology. And he's actually on his way to Trantor.
Oh,
bitch. And this dude is dumb. He's stuck. And then not only that, the Mule is able to weaponize a nearby star, agitates the star. It shoots a beam of light to Calgon and blows up the freaking planet.
So are we? So
no, that was the Death Star though. But that wasn't the Death Star. That was something else.
So are we saying that Brother Dawn is dead?
Dawn wasn't on the Calgon. So actually one of the commenters pointed out they were on a nearby planet where the Senate was voting.
Oh, okay.
So Dawn wasn't on the planet. This dude's wife and kids was on the planet, and Dawn blackmailed him into voting to do the enclosure. So after they sat there and they realized that the enclosure failed, Dawn started having the wheels in his head spinning. And he starts trying to get the fuck up out of there because he starts realizing this don't look good for me at all. I'm the second Cleon who had an enclosure fail. I got to get the fuck up out of here. They start looking to arrest him. He puts his arms up like I'm Empire. Then we realize Gaal was walking around masquerading as him. And she put all the guards to sleep in order to allow this motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit was fun. Dude, that was top tier writing.
And look at her color she's wearing. I like to pay attention to colors because I know the creators be like that. They choose colors. This is some real Sith shit. And I'm gonna go into this right here.
Wow.
Then they decide to grow that seed they planted at the beginning of the episode when Dawn sent his last will to Dusk. And Dusk is getting this like, nigga, what? You did what with who? The fuck is going on? Yo.
Ready the beam! Ready the Death Star!
Yo.
Ready the
What's
Death
up
Star.
with all that shit on our foundation, man?
Dawn is trying to escape now that Gaal masqueraded as him. And he, again, the wheels is spinning in his head. He's like, yo, did this chick know this shit was going to fail?
Yes.
And she goes, fuck yeah, I did.
I had to tell you this,
used you.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I needed it to fail because I needed Empire's power to shrink. I needed the Cleonic Dynasty to die. I needed Foundation to grow stronger. You guys don't even have whisper ships. You think I needed you when the Foundation was right there? I needed you. I used you
just to what was it to do? To help her position to get more planets on the side of Foundation. What was it? They had 10. I think they said the Empire started out with what 10,000 planets, and now they're down to 4.
It was some minuscule number, but Foundation wasn't strong enough. She did that shit.
Yeah.
Dawn got pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can trust you anymore because you lied to me. And before she could even try to talk him into act.
Did she really lie to him though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because she didn't know for a fact, right? The Mule still had to act, right?
She said, I needed the enclosure to fail. That's what she said.
True. Intentional. I was trying to. All right.
She needed that to fail. She tried to get Dawn to come back because she still wanted to control a Cleon. He's still the the leader of the Empire next. But then this motherfucker showed up wanting revenge.
Instant. I love the Star Trek.
And look the colors again. Back to the colors again.
Yeah.
Colors again.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. And then he shot the fucking airlock, sucked himself out into space. Dawn gets sucked out, but he has on a spacesuit.
That could be tracked, I'm sure.
This motherfucker is looking at his note. He's going through his emotions. We're going through the emotions that Dawn just got sucked out of space. Gaal is getting an alert on her spaceship that somebody just opened the air hatch. She's like, who the fuck is this? Is it you, Dawn? Is it you? And we look and see it's motherfucking Demerzel.
This bitch from left field, out of fucking nowhere. Who sent for you? Who called
Gaal
you?
Dornick. It has been 300 years since I last saw you. You look well.
You look sick, but you look well.
And credits.
Oh man. Wow. That's
so
yeah.
So
yeah.
To go back, because we were talking about whether or not if Gaal was really altruistic, if she was manipulative, just where her personality was. And I think one thing that we're seeing in this season, especially now that her Hari Seldon is gone, is that she's growing into him. She's doing all the things that she used to harp on Hari for. Why the fuck you holding secrets? Why aren't you telling us the whole plan? Why are you manipulating us? How come you didn't tell me we was going to get arrested when I landed on Trantor? You knew we was going to go create this foundation. I thought I was just entering a contest, and you had a whole plan. Bing. She did to Dawn what Hari did to her. The student has become the master.
But worse. So much worse.
So because she destroyed a planet.
Well, Hari destroyed the original foundation. He had a hand in that, right? Like that whole planet right around where everybody was dying. Everybody kept trying to get into the vault. That same
Hari saved a lot of them.
A lot of them, but
Hari saved all of them.
Yeah, because he told them to get onto the.
No, I think he saved all of them.
He didn't get all of them, right? Like there was some, like
he got all of them.
Little girls, pops.
No, he got everybody. Because when that closing scene, you see the levels and levels and levels of people that are in the ship.
See all of them in the ship. You even see Polly. Even Polly Verisov was alive.
I guess I keep thinking because old boy died. What's his name from Wire? No. He was in this for the first season. I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying?
But let's not act like Gaal and Hari are both not mathematicians. This is more about numbers than anything, right? This is not that like the way that they process things is the greater good. If I have to kill 10 million to save 3 billion, then I have to say the numbers. It's a numbers thing for these guys. Like everything, it constitutes his math. Like they use mathematics in a way that we never could have ever thought to use mathematics. Like everything, even how the future unfolds is mathematically. It's a mathematical equation that Hari has been using throughout this whole process. That's the whole
everyone as a number, but they also get their plans always get thrown off by their emotions. Their emotions always mess everything up. Every time somebody falls in love, the plan gets messed up. Gaal wasn't supposed to fall in love with Raish. Every time they have and same thing with Hari, because we even learned in season 2 Hari's upbringing, and we learned about his wife Yana. Yana was her name. All of this is all partially motivated, not because he wants to just save the world. He also wants to get revenge for them killing his wife.
Absolutely.
Like he absolutely wants to see Cleon, get revenge on it. Yeah. So like there's a lot of just the math. We got to save people, but I feel like Hari is masquerading his revenge as saving the world, And Gaal is just, I don't know what Gale's doing. She falls in love, and then shit hits the fan every time with the person she falls in love with.
Well, you see her, she's trying to not have that be a thing. It's like, listen, look, you just boo thing, all right? We not trying to make nothing official at all. Like, you stay over there.
Have you seen her Instagram? It's not easy.
Ooh. Yeah. So, baby, I understand. That
nigga was like, I'm ready to put a ring on it right now.
Right now, he's like, can we just run away? Yeah. He actually hit her with that. I forgot about that. He hit her with the fuck the plan. We could just go. Everybody else could die for 400 years. Don't you want to make some Synaxians? Me and you restart the race.
Can we? Is it possible to go back to one of the comments earlier that asked, how did Gaal get her powers? Have we definitively established? I have a theory, but I don't know if my theory is correct. I figured that sometime around when she was in the last season, because that community had some sort of telepathic something, right? Like the community that was trying to take over old girl's body. There was a whole spiritual.
Gaal had powers before that. Gaal had powers before that. Remember on the ship?
She did.
Remember on the ship? You don't remember on the ship? When they lost all control of the ship. Yeah, like listen, the whole reason Hari found Gaal, because let's go all the way back. Mm-hmm. Gaal was something like the same thing that Hari was. She had a natural understanding of math. It was like on the planet when she
nobody was doing math.
Nobody was doing that. Like she had a natural understanding. As a matter of fact, on the planet she comes from, they had a thing that you were not even supposed to be reading books. I believe they was like, yo, you're not even supposed to have those.
Yep.
And like so, and which was why she was ostracized at that point. They was like, she's cursed or whatever, and the parents was like, you gotta go. My dad was like, no.
Oh, that's reading that bitch. Yeah,
that she had a natural. I think these people exist, and because of Hari's understanding of math, and also his understanding of how that affects the future, he was able to come in, because remember, they're out on a planet that is literally isolated from everybody else. We're not doing all of the technology over here. We're just people that love the water. We're just fishermen and we don't get involved in none of that. We don't even keep books. We're not even about that book shit. We don't want to learn nothing. We just out here living comfortably in our own thing. Where that was it. Hari pulls up in a fucking ship. Like, yo, I'm looking for Gaal. I'm looking for hold up. Who the fuck are you? And what, like, Gaal? And Gale's like, I'm ready. Let's go. so
about time.
About time. They didn't shit. These motherfuckers is boring over here. I can't do this shit no more. So Gaal assumptively, because again, there was no clear explanation, but assumptively, she's always had these powers. Assumptively.
Well, but there is a jump in, or at least a leap from when we last knew Gaal, and she was having premonitions, yes, but able to control people's minds, like that kind of came real quick. And
they showed her training.
Yeah,
she's been training for 2 seasons. Like even Luke Skywalker had a less of a montage. Like she actually trained with Talon Bond, and then even at the first episode, they showed her second episode, they showed her waking up through time, spending a week or 2 with the Mentalics and training with them for hundreds of years. Go ahead.
that was the whole plan. Like she was supposed to wake up every other year or something like that behind Hari, so that she could train the people and the people could continue to train her.
Yeah.
That was the goal. That's when Hari and her had come together in order to get these people to the point that they needed to be before this next crisis happened.
Which is the origin story of most superheroes, right? You come into your powers, you don't realize what's happening because you prior to that you were normal, and then all of a sudden on your 18th birthday, boom, you get your powers, and now I don't know what the hell I got going on. I just got these new powers, and I don't know how to use them. On comes Mr. Miyagi to show you how to do Daniel-san, Crane. You know what I mean? So you need that. Like, this is Hari pulling up. She's 18 years old, and look, I think Gaal, for the most part, was about 18 when Hari found her. So it's like boom, she comes into her powers. Because I think she started seeing the numbers. Like, if I remember correctly, like it's been 3 seasons and I don't know how many years in between those, but if I remember correctly, when she was on her regular planet and she was like in one of those huts or whatever, up in her hut, I think she started seeing numbers. Like, they were like visually, like all of these equations were like just appearing and all of that kind of stuff like that. So I think this is just another origin story. Like, her powers come into play. She doesn't know how to use them, so they operate off emotion like most superheroes. So if she's in a situation where there's a threat or she's hyper whatever, then all of a sudden a power happens, but she doesn't know how that happened. She didn't control it. So here we are. Fast forward. She's been in a stasis chamber. She comes out. Here's the teacher again, Hari, who shows up. Let's go to this planet because I know this is what you need. And we go, and here enters Master Yoda, and Master Yoda's like, "Look, young Skywalker, you possess the Force. Let me show you how to use it."
I need to rewatch it because I'm missing that part of the story where they developed her psychic powers. Evidently it's been riddled all the way through it, and so I wasn't paying close enough attention to it. But
there were a few steps. The first part was the fact that Gaal and them had even found the planet, because I forget the head chick's name of that planet. I forget her name.
Talon Bond.
Who?
Talon Bond.
Talon Bond.
Wow. Yeah.
She is, she's telling the story about how people just happen to find, they would go out a little bit and find people, but for the most part, people would find them because they're fellow Mentalics. So that was already clue number 1 for her, sort of, kind of, even though Hari kind of dragged them. No, Hari didn't drag him to this planet. No, that was all Gaal.
So Hari dragged them to Unis world. Gaal was going to go to Ignis because of the I think she received the signal from the planet Ignis when they were flying around. So she ended up bringing them there, and that's when she discovered all the other Mentalics. She wanted to go there from the beginning after waking up with Salvor on Synax and just not knowing what to do in the world. Once she found Talon Bond, that's when she started her whole process, and that's when we started to see her level up. She started training with the Mentalics from that time. They started teaching her, like, hey, we can talk telepathically. Hey, we're more powerful when we're around each other. Hey, you can move things with your mind. And she immediately started to not just flourish, but she started to grow exponentially fast in her power. She went from being a rookie to overpowering Talon Bond, the most powerful Mentalic, before the season was over. Like, she threw this chick into a wall. She took her into the future and had the Mule mindfuck her and brought her back.
That was last season, right?
Yes. That's just how powerful she was before we even got to her training.
Well, yeah, but that was involved.
Season
that was
2.
A key piece of her accelerated growth.
She started training
with the Mentalic
then.
Right.
And
okay.
Then at the beginning of season 3, then they had the moments where she and Hari would wake up at different points in time, and she said Hari would teach them about Prime Radiant.
Yes.
I would teach them about using their powers, and they would teach me as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
so by the time
she Okay, all right.
So now when we only saw her go back to New Terminus or wherever it's Ignis a couple times, and when she was there, like all of the Foundation members, their powers are on another level. One dude can't even talk, but he just he gets through. Like he's fine. She is on another level, but she is still nowhere near as powerful as the Mule. Now, I saw Mike asked in the comments, then who trained the Mule, or is it self-taught rage? I just wanted to address it for him real quick. If Gaal is Goku, the Mule is Broly.
Oh, right.
He's just there. He don't need no training. Yeah. And that's what makes him so much of a problem, because his power seems to be limitless. It's not like Gaal is like saying, yo, let's just take 40 Mentalics and go jump him. Right.
yeah.
Right. So we're going to see more about that. And one thing I'm really excited about this season, and this is not necessarily a spoiler, I think we're all expecting it. We're going to see Gaal confront the Mule.
Yeah.
This is going to happen.
Yeah.
That premonition is going to happen this season. The only thing is I'm still curious how much of it is still the same as her first vision.
So I have a question. Is there are we past the Salvo? So Salvo is gone?
Yeah, she died.
Salvo's gone, she's dead. I mean,
so I'm curious about that because that was in her vision. That was in her vision. Salvor's body was what triggered her.
But remember in the previous season, they said that all of that changed. She felt safe because Salvor felt kind of safe because she thought she was gonna die when they ran up on the Mule, not knowing something changed. I don't know who did what, but she ends up dying on Ignis from the little kid that I'm gonna call her Tauntaun. That Tauntaun infiltrated with the last little bit of her soul. I hate New York City. She got murked by the little kid. Nobody saw that shit fucking coming. So something had already changed in the timeline. So we don't know how Gaal is actually gonna fight this nigga. And B, where she's actually going to fight him. It's very there. God damn it, I need y'all to catch up.
So
because there's one scene in the next episode.
Hold on.
There's one scene in the next episode. I'm just saying, it gives you a clue. It gives you a clue, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's.
Frostadamus just brought it up. We still have a Salvor zygote.
Right.
We still have a Salvor zygote.
Ooh.
So y'all might not remember this, and you probably haven't seen it yet, Ty, because I kind of skipped over it. But there's a scene where Dawn is talking to Gaal on the spaceship, and he sees Gaal like hunched over doing something. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "You might not know this, but this is the zygote of my daughter." And he's like, "Your daughter? You're fucking 25. What are you talking about?" Well, she's like, "I'm 30, and my daughter was almost my age when I met her." And he didn't really dive into it, but we found out that she actually has a zygote of Salvor that she holds on to.
But for me, I thought that signified the beginning of Salvo as kind of like that whole Wrinkle in Time bit where, she's created through this zygote, and this happens years from now.
Make another one.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not the case, but in this instance, I feel like they were referring more to the fact that she's speaking in future tense is indicative of the fact that this zygote will become the daughter that I will meet, not another zygote. I mean, you could argue, is that really Salvo? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's biologically, it's.
You're saying, is it another daughter?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it could have more. But I don't know.
I think
is this Salvor or is this one of Salvor's eggs? You understand what I'm saying? Is this a granddaughter or is this a daughter?
So I've shied away from that because people in the comments don't like where I went with that thought of Salvor having children.
Okay.
Because So I had a theory when I started off this season that this dude, what's his name? The black dude, the thief, the one that Gaal is kissing.
Gaal? Is what
yeah. Pritchard. I had a theory that Pritchard, what if Pritchard is Salvor's descendant? Like, he's giving me mentalic vibes, right? As soon as the mule saw him, the first thing the mule said was like, yo, you're like me. And the last time I was on Ignis, when Salvor and Gaal showed up, it wasn't a lot of black people. There was some. It wasn't a lot. And they killed like the one main dude that was there. So I was like, yo, what if Pritchard is a descendant of Salvor? And everybody was like, no, how could that be? Salvor never had kids. But then I was like, yo, y'all over here acting like Salvor didn't surprise us. And we reveal herself to be Gaal's daughter that we didn't see happen on screen. Like, her whole birth and all of that stuff happened off screen. So why could that not also happen to Salvor? Why can't Salvor also have something happen off screen?
Isn't Pritchard sleeping with Gaal?
Hold on.
That's correct.
Yes. Are we or are we not in 2025 where House of the Dragon is a thing and we know about the Targaryens?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because the Targaryens,
I'm not having
bloodline pure.
I'm not having
the Synaxians might need to keep the bloodline pure.
They from Foundation, Alabama. They say it don't really matter. Like, listen, it's, what's a little kissing between cousins from a couple of generations?
Well, I must also say this: though Pritchard looks like he's a black man. If Salvor did have a baby, her man was white. I just want to put that out there.
Okay, you can do what they did with Salvor. You take a little bit of gross, a little bit of Hari and a little bit of Gaal. No, but that's how they made Salvor was made with the
Raish.
That's good.
That was with Raish.
Yes,
that was Gaal and Raish were both black.
You're right. Salvor and Raish.
Not Salvo and Raish. Not Salvo and Raish. Gaal and Raish. Gaal and Raish are the parents of Salvo.
Correct. They did not need Gaal or Raish to actually be alive. They just needed their genetic coding. Why can't you have? Hear me out. Why can't you have Salvor and Hari be a zygote? Because don't forget, she said, I'm just tinkering a little bit with the zygote. I'm just gonna make a little. Let's put this right there so we can keep going. Just whip it up.
Salvor didn't really mess with Hari like that, right? She was normally communicating.
Don't necessarily. She don't have to be. She can be made into a Hari.
Yeah, but Gaal chose Raish because they was in love. Like, why would Salvo, especially with her character, all of a sudden
Salvor had a boyfriend, right? We know that. Right? Salvor had a boyfriend.
Yes. Correct.
So there's a possibility. Hear me out. That she did with her boyfriend what Gaal and Raish did and had an egg set to the side. If that is the case, think about that. That happened in season 1 of Foundation. That was 300 years ago. I'm saying Pritchard is a descendant of Salvor. And that means that it wouldn't be her son. It could be her grandson or her great-grandson, especially because on Terminus, people were living for hundreds of years. Polly was over 100 years old in season 2 of Foundation. He was a little boy in season 1.
Right.
So there's a chance that, if she had a kid that with that person, that her grandchild could be Pritchard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I would even go a little further. I might even go a step further with you and say, look, man.
No, don't you?
Hari might have set it up like that because he should know the lineage. Like, didn't Hari got a mathematic way of knowing? He knew Ray and them was doing what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? All right, didn't work on the show. Sorry. Tune in next time.
I'm not. I want to be part of
playing devil's advocate. I don't actually believe what I just said. point.
I don't want no parts.
Me trying to step outside
I
bit
don't
works is because
That's
it's that
Like,
what
I
I
don't
just
have
said
an
is a devil's
approach
advocate type
to
of.
appropriately
I don't-
reflect
I
how
don't.
I feel.
I don't actually
I
feel
don't.
that way. Is the point.
I do have
Devil's
this.
advocate thing, you know.
I got this. It's my new
Yep.
little toy.
What the heck? What was that?
What is that? Not a whole butthole. Stop it. Stop it.
Not Reptar's ass.
Oh God.
This is the weird stuff that Netflix give me to promote their
Hey,
new
yo.
thing on Fixed. It's a bottle opener. I'm supposed to open up a bottle with the dog's ass.
Rep with
I would.
Reptar.
I decline. I decline.
I disagree.
All right, so I think shit. Did we talk about everything? We talked about the Cleons. We talked about Demerzel. I even touched on that theory with Cala.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a question for y'all.
What's up?
Now that Day has revealed that he had a plan the whole time to use his nanobites, what is it? The nanites, and use them and put them in old boy's blood system to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially kind of revealing like there's a little bit more to his deception than we originally thought. Do you, and I know that you have skipped ahead in the lessons, you know, and Kira, but do you think in the long term, in the long scheme of things, that what he felt for his chocolate milk was real and that he legit did kind of want to have some sort of life with her outside of Empire, or was that all just game?
Nah.
Yes. No, he loved her. He loved that boo thing.
Really?
He got him some chocolate milk. He ain't go back.
Really?
So,
I don't.
Okay.
I believe that.
I believe he does. I was like, I don't know.
I think he feels like that because what else does he have? His clone brothers and a robot to look for love in. I think as soon as he found something different, or she wasn't as into him as she used to be, he would have been gone. He would have been gone. I think he was entertained to a point and felt the most emotion that felt like love ever. I don't think he was in love with her.
I think that first and foremost, he is Empire, so his reach as far as ladies go is he could easily have a harem if he wanted to, but what I think what it yeah, so that idea that I think that ultimately the drugs that he was on and the fact that it allowed him to be vulnerable and also to share the secrets that he had been holding for so long was a pleasant feeling, and also one that he yearns for again. So yes, I do believe he's needful of her. I don't know that it's necessarily love, but I do think that there is a necessity involved in having that particular woman in his life at this point. So yeah,
I can't wait for y'all to watch this next episode. I can't wait.
I agree that I think that
he's seen it and he agrees.
I agree that I think that he's with what you're saying, that because when you really break it down, the way that she came into his life, right? Because he picks women from Gossamer Court, right? He has a harem. All the days do it. They pick one. I sleep with you. Then when we're done, I erase your memory and I send you back on your way.
Yeah.
There's something that he didn't do that with her. And he just, at first it was just like, all right, let's just whatever. But then I think over time, he started projecting something onto her that may not have been sincere. And it could just be like, hey, because we already know he feels like he's a prisoner. He doesn't trust Demerzel. He calls Demerzel the robot. I don't really get to do things. We're just puppets on strings, all that stuff. He doesn't really feel like he has a real life. And I think that he started to fantasize one in his mind with her, whether or not it was real love with her. I think he started falling in love with the idea of the life he could have
That I agree.
Why don't we just live? We could just go out and be space
people. Just
people
run
with
away.
money. Yeah.
Escape all of our responsibilities.
Yeah, apparently all of their relationships are therapeutic. Like anything that they have at this point is I think the only one that, and I don't even know if it's him, but with Dusk, it feels like him and the I don't know what her name is, but that lady, they've been involved with each other for such a long time. There may be, but then in season 2 there was the Asian woman that he was like so I feel like they all are thirsting for that person that they can confide in, including Dawn. I think Dawn had moved the way that he moved initially for Gaal, because there was again someone that he values and someone that he could also confide in, and vice versa. They exchange information. That is the currency in which I operate, is what can you do for me? How does that benefit me? And if it feels beneficial, then I'll latch on to it. Same thing with Day, same thing with Dusk, same thing with Dawn. I think that is just
don't forget that not Day. Damn it, those fucking D's. Don't forget that Dawn ran away with. Shut up. I know what I said.
Yes, he did.
I know what I said. Just let it go.
All the D's.
When Dawn ran away, I know all these goddamn D's. Too much D. Too much D.
Too much D.
That's where we are. All right.
Oh God.
Okay.
That's why Gail's here. Anyway, we forget that Dawn ran away with Day's betrothed. They are also still out
Queen
the fuck there. I would say that is the closest all of the Cleons have.
The very first Cleon jumped. I mean, he gave up his aura too. Remember, like not very first Cleon, but the very first season, Dawn.
But
the gardener. Remember the gardener?
A mutual love. It was It was the only instance where it actually
they didn't love
together
her.
And was successful.
That wasn't. Yeah, I don't. And even with that one, Kira, that one was kind of like she fell back to Dawn because Dawn felt like the one that she could control. Like it was there was her whole, let's not forget, her whole thing of being there was to enact revenge for her family being killed. So despite the fact that you are Dawn and this is Day and this is Dusk, y'all are all the same. Like regardless of you acting differently than the other two, you still are she only operated with Dawn to get where she needed to get and get information. And she was out. And I think she was out right after that.
Well, I think she started off that way, but I think she fucked around and fell in love. Like
a little bit.
She was sitting there and she was trying to manipulate Day. She was trying to get into his pants. She was using Dawn as a backup plan, but somewhere along the line, I think she actually had real feelings.
I thought she just used them for the DNA because I think she just had sex with.
She could have flown off. She didn't need him.
She didn't need to take him with her.
She didn't need to take him. If I got the bun in the oven and the cash card, deuces, nigga. I don't need you no more. I'm gonna raise this kid by myself. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm out, my guy. I don't need you if I don't feel that connection. I've got my my safety net. I've got my blackmail. She had all of that with that one baby being up in her. She didn't need him no more. Meh.
Well, the point I was making though was just that with Ty's. No, I'm not. No, that's a very good point. Just to add to Ty's point earlier about this day. This day wants something new. That they all of them. Essentially, with at least the ones that we've been exposed to every season, at least one of the three taught feelings so this is within their DNA. It's not something that they all are averse to. It's something that comes with the programming. Go ahead.
Well, no, that comes from Cleon the first. he had mommy issues. So when we saw the flashback to Cleon the First, we didn't get very much, but we saw him interact with his mother. And in those moments, I studied it because we didn't see this dude's father. Like his father was like in the background, blurred out, but he was focused on his mother. And even in season 2 of Foundation, that Cleon, that day, he was like, yo, I feel closer to Cleon the First. I'm making a statue of my mother. And he had this whole big event where he revealed this giant statue of his mother. They got mommy issues. They got detachment issues. They got daddy issues to a degree. And Demerzel taps into all that shit.
That makes perfect sense.
She taps into all of that.
So, all right. So this question is again a little.
I'm gonna have to be out, y'all.
Oh, you gotta head out.
Y'all continue, yeah, y'all go ahead and continue the conversation. I'll be checking in.
All right, hey man, hey,
thank you for coming through.
Yeah, let's bring some democracy to some aliens a little later, man. Know what I'm saying? Let's you know, some democracy.
I got you. I got you.
All right, let's go.
Bye, time.
Later.
I was gonna say, so what do y'all think? See, now I'm talking to the two heads of class who have already studied the source material.
Oh man,
so it's unfair, but perhaps. All right,
we can watch it again.
We'll see how we react.
It's not a problem.
Let's do that. But I was gonna ask. Yeah, it's a pointless question for people who've probably seen it. But have you any idea as to whether or not this fucks with the ascension timeline for Dusk? Because now he's basically the only one that's Empire that's within Demerzel's reach and control. So, everybody else is off the grid.
I'm gonna say this. Because I want to tease without spoiling.
Yeah, I told y'all they was gonna know already.
Demerzel said when she noticed that Dawn was off planet, Day was underground, Dusk was, I don't know,
elsewhere,
conciliating, whatever the fuck he does.
Yeah,
Empire is fractured.
She did.
Empire is fractured, and the first thing she did was she got on her ass on a spaceship. She didn't go looking for Dawn. She didn't go looking for Dusk. She didn't go looking for Day. She went straight to Gaal Dornick. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna tease that.
I have a thought in my head that her and Gaal are going to get on the same fucking page. They're going to end up being on the same team. I don't know how this happens, but I would be shocked if that's not something that happens later on. If not by the end of this season, because we got 5 episodes left to go.
Yeah. We
got 5 episodes left to go. We got 4 months until Mule and Gaal meet up. You got the zygote thing happening. Dawn, yo, I don't see how in chess you don't link up with your enemy to defeat this one particular dude or to extend the family line. She got it. She clearly got it in spades. Easy. She manipulated the youngest one out of all of them. And I don't know if you can erase all of the memories from Dawn and bring up a copy. You have to do all of that work all over again. Like at what point do you I guess uninstall the memories from this iteration of Dawn?
Just raise a new one.
Yeah.
She was about to make a new one anyway.
How do you know that?
It was time because it was Ascension time.
Oh yeah, because it was
Dusk was about to get. So she was about to make a baby.
Yeah. But she still has to take away.
Excuse me.
She'd have to wipe the memory of what is it, of Day, and whatever shit that he had up until I guess he got rid of the nanites, and she'd have to get rid of the memories of Dusk too, because isn't that going to influence how they treat the new Day?
Well, that's why I'm curious as to whether or not Dusk. I mean, right now he's like the only hope. He's he's gotten more significant, and he's supposed to be exposed, and he's disposed of. So I don't know. I guess I just got to get caught up.
And who is Dusk building this goddamn Death Star for? Not simply for like as like the person for, but like what planet is he about to set this shit off on?
I think this is a result of him studying all the prior Dusks. So one thing that we saw in season 2, that Dusk, he wasn't really into conflict. He was more into conciliated. And he said in season 2 that he was ashamed to admit that he let Demerzel handle most of the issues that were about conflicts, and he would stay in the background. I think this Dusk studied those previous Cleons so much that he wanted to be everything they weren't. They were better. I'm pretty sure he's like the Dawn that was born right after all that happened.
I think so, or at least one Dawn removed.
Yeah.
From all of them.
So he's it's like parents, right? Like when you have your first kid, you know, you experiment with them, and then the second kid, they get everything that you've learned from your first kid applied to them. Third kid, they fend for themselves, fuck them. But the second kid, you actually try. And I feel like that's a bit what happened here. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, Vince.
I know exactly what I was literally just talking about this, like to my sisters and them yesterday. Every kid, especially, and you experience this depending on where you lie in your sibling. Like, Kira, do you have brothers and sisters?
No.
Okay, so she don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, see, Ant's like one of 8 or 9 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? 15. And so 15, yeah. So he's somewhere, and he's not the first, he's not the last. So he doesn't. I'm the oldest of my siblings. So I know I've been to the mountain, you know, I'm the one that has the, you know, the stripes. You know what I'm saying? I know what they were like, and then how they are, you know, and so yeah, that's just a thing that happens, and so that's what he's talking about. The youngest gets it much easier than the oldest.
Fair.
She said, "Sure, yeah, just trust us. Take our word on it."
No, I know. Listen, look. Just because I don't have them, don't mean I'm not observant. I see how y'all move. All of y'all, first, second, third borns, y'all got some core things that y'all do that I've noticed. I promise.
I really like the scene where Day confronted Day from the old generation, where he.
The first
hologram,
yeah.
And he was all like disgusted with him, and he was like, "Oh, yes, well, you know," he's like, "Oh yeah, you know," like he just was not feeling him, and they confronted each other, and I just thought that was brilliant. Like I don't know, like shit like that this show does, I feel like go overlooked because there's so much stuff going on, but that was such a brilliant display of the level the difference between where he was and what he has become, especially in light of the Prime Radiant predicting that around this time, this is when Empire would fall again, right? After and for the Second Foundation. So it's all because of the way has now lost faith in that whole empirical system. But that normally happens. It's just this is the first time, once again, I've seen 2 of them on board with being mutinous at the same time, and that's the only reason I think that they have a, you know, like a little bit of a weakness in the fence, if you will. You know what I mean?
She's losing her grip on her Cleons. She don't raise them the same way.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, she's not supposed to fuck them all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, she was some of them getting, some of them don't, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't know you're supposed to be doing that in the first place. I mean, and I ain't gonna lie, like that'd be hard to not to. I mean, damn. I mean, she
use as needed.
You think about it, like, damn, like she do whatever.
Yo,
you know, she ain't gonna tell nobody in. It's a whole thing. Can you make you look like anybody? Like, can Demerzel be like, you know,
Like Mystique from X-Men.
Tyler Banks, yeah.
Hey,
Beyonce on that, but can you darken yourself up? Why is Demerzel so pale? All right, let's stop. Yeah, man. So I need to get caught up to episode 6 so I could be on par.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, I'm gonna have to end this live stream. We're gonna have to get rid of all these people.
Yeah. Y'all. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, y'all.
I ain't gotta go home, but you know, we gotta watch Foundation. We gotta watch the next episode. It's
so
nothing personal.
Again, and focus just on the next episode instead of everything. So,
yeah.
Right. Look at y'all.
It's good. It's good. It's
always
good.
Of course, man. There's no other way to be. You know what I'm saying? Stay high, keep high thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Que yummy.
High results. You know?
Que rico.
What about the prior runaway Dawn's kid theory, the Mule family lineage? Oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, bruh.
That's crazy.
They out there. They 1,000% are out there.
Yeah, I got a Death Star. Yo, I'm still tripping. Like, yo, Gaal. Yo, all right. I know we're about to wrap up, but this is one big difference between Foundation and the shows and the movies that took from the concept of Foundation, is that it does delve into the concept of basically essentially collateral damage. Like Luke didn't have to deal with that. Old boy in Dune is not dealing with that. Star Trek, for the most part, doesn't normally have to deal with having to kill millions of people just to be able to get an advantage for something that may be an issue in the future. Like, this literally sparks a whole nother plot line where she's the where she's the villain. If you start the story from her killing, start the story from the perspective of the daughter of the politician who died only because her father had to be blackmailed for this all to work. Start this from her perspective. Say she gets shipped off the planet like Superman, like Kal-El. Like, she could have Gaal Dornick is the villain in her story. You feel what I'm saying? And anybody else on that planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is the Foundation better than Empire? If it takes tens of millions, now Demerzel had to kill tens of millions just to benefit the Foundation. The Foundation just had to kill off a whole planet just to benefit the Foundation. The Foundation is killing off more than the Empire.
The Foundation was never going to be better, and that's what I was saying. Hari is masquerading his revenge as saving humanity. All he wants to do is end the Cleonic Empire.
But wow, with all this innocent death for revenge, when he can kill the Cleons, they eat the whole planet and a sky.
They have clones. They have clones, and they have a robot protecting them. You can't just kill them. We did that in season 2. That wasn't enough.
Yeah,
right. You have to end the genetic dynasty, and you have to get around this ultimate being that's protecting it.
They're making a very bad resume for themselves. Like, hey, listen, I mean, this is very Andoric, you know, like how in Andor, you might be on the right side of the rebellion, but you might also have to die just because you know about us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, I like this. I love the conflict of having to know for a fact who's good and who's not. Gaal has thrown herself in the mix. I don't care what nobody say. Like, the whole planet, bro. She knew.
Nah, she a villain,
bro. The whole planet, bro. Like, that's not no city, no country. The planet, my nigga. Like, they only. And you know what I love? Because they didn't do this in all. And I have a real quick side note. I have an idea concept. Fan made snapshots of people enjoying themselves on the planet Alderaan before the Death Star just pulled up and was like, "Oh, you know what? Hey, Leia, you gonna tell us where everybody at?" No, boom. I feel like I would love to see like 30 or 40 like different instances of like, hey, you know what do you? Oh yeah, I have pumpkin spice. Hey, what's this new star? You know what I'm saying, in the sky? Boom. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, sitting there playing pickleball and shit. And then, hey, yo, what the fuck is this star up in the sky? Boom. You know, like, They gave that. We saw them on the planet perish. We saw them burn up, which I give them credit for showing that. But it also shows the level of, like the level of, I don't know, like the depth to go in order to get the outcome that she's trying to get. But that could also very well make her a villain. If you start adding up the body counts, it's not looking good for Gaal Dornick. It's not looking good for Harry Seldon. These deaths have been in the name of the Foundation.
Do you think that she thought he would use? There's no way she could have thought that he would have had a cobalt fucking bomb. I don't think she would have thought the planet would have gotten blown up. I also don't know how she would have thought the enclosure would have failed in any other way. That
was my argument earlier, but Ant put that thought to rest when he was like, listen, she said I needed the enclosure to fail.
But I don't know how. Well, she can see the future. Shit.
Yeah. And she needed it to be done in a way in which it took the Cleon down. Because in the end, she needed to reduce their numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because all the people on the planet are potential soldiers. So this was there's no make no mistake. This is brilliance, but it's also collateral damage. How much collateral damage? You know, just like they say, like in real life, like you don't want to go over there bombing people over in other countries because you make just as many quote unquote terrorists, you know what I'm saying, as you quote unquote kill, even though that's a whole different conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because do they even get quote unquote killed? Are they even quote unquote terrorists? The whole thing. All right. But point being taken is just that you can eradicate something, but just make just as many people as mad. So now with this planet, you done killed off. Is there another system, another planet in that solar system that's like, yo, hold the fuck up? Where the fuck is Alderaan? You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking like, yo, did somebody see Jupiter?
But you know what? Who are they mad at? All they know is that one of the Cleons fucked up. They don't know shit about Gaal. All they know is the Cleons fucked up.
She framed the hell out of him.
But Cleon is out there though. But young Cleon is out there.
I don't want to see you. I don't give a shit what you call
it. He got a message to Dusk. Dusk knows. Dusk has all of the bully pulpit.
Dusk about to fuck up big with that fucking Death Star. I don't know this. I'm just saying signs are pointing towards him doing some shit that he probably wouldn't do if Dawn and Day were still in the picture.
Okay.
At least he about
to fuck up some shit, but bad. On some everybody around me is probably pissed at me. This feels like a Caesar moment. I don't know if I should I'm gonna get stabbed and I messed up. Oops. Didn't think that through.
Whoopsie. All right, yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to see, man. I gotta get up to par.
All right. I let's wrap this up so we could get you up to par. Look at you doing all the. I didn't even know these were things.
I'm trying to it don't work when you want it to. It's just gonna pull up when you feel like it.
I don't know. I didn't know this was a thing.
You gotta have the Google chat. Oh, there it go. That out.
Oh,
the thing that come on all the time and be like, hey, you got this one right here. Yeah, this one.
I ain't got none of that.
Come on. If I keep it like this, will it stay like? Oh, I love it. Oh, that's dope. Is it just one? Or is one go up and down? Look at us. We so easily entertained, man. You got a ball of yarn over there. I guess.
Anyway. Thank you all for checking in for this live stream of Foundation with the mid-season finale. Thank you all. Appreciate you all checking in. Vince, Lady Mandalore. Let me stop. Let me stop playing. Let me bring y'all back. I appreciate y'all.
that was tight. That was good. You gotta shut us up sometimes. At least me. I know me.
I just want to have fun. That's all I say. I just want to have fun.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
But if you guys are new here to the movie blog, you new to the new Blerd Order, you're new to a room full of blurs, find us on social media, find us on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow, Check us back. We're going to be doing these deep dives. I release them every Thursday night right after the episode airs. We go live with the new Blerd Order every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to do the same thing next week, same bat time, same bat channel. If you're new here,
she's got something coming too, right?
I do. I've got my show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about independent comics, and I always find new up-and-coming comic book creators. They ain't got nobody attached to them. They just have ideas, and they bring them to life. Please come check out Room Full of Blerds in like an hour and a half.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, an hour and a half. Right? Oh, dope.
Hour and a half. Yeah. Room Full of Blerds, hour and a half, y'all. Until then, I'm going to check you all later. Peace.